Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. The purpose of satsanga or study of scriptures or going to temple or chanting the Lord's name or doing the seva or any spiritual practice is to draw our attention to ourselves. Hey Puttara, पीछे कर. So, what is our normal status of our mind? We are all the time extrovert. Extrovert in the sense, for all our miseries, difficulties and problems, we are expert in blaming others. Is it not? Every one of us do. When something good is happening, no, badi mehnat kari, no, I had done a lot of, efforts and then I could achieve this. But when something bad happens, I tell you, my wife doesn't understand anything, See? So, we have a very peculiar condition. When something good happens, it is because of me. When something bad happens, it is because of someone others. In this manner, we are caught up in our own imaginations and projections. And such a person who is caught up in this imagination and projection, for such a person, there is no way, and he keeps on blaming others, he keeps on trying to improve the world, and imagines that he is able to and responsible for everything that is happening in this world. See? So we have to break this somewhere. And when we are clear that we are leading our life in a wrong direction, see, when we are driving a very nice, a very valuable car, very comfortably, but if we are going in the wrong direction, we will never reach our destination. See? And therefore, in our scriptures, it is said that because we are caught up in our own wrong thinking. So, who is the scripture? That which helps us come out of our wrong thinking. Because what is the scripture or a book, whether we take a Upanishad or Bhagavad Gita or Guru Granth Sahib or Kabir Bani, whatever we take, they are nothing but thoughts printed in the book. And when we accept any particular text, any particular book, with all respect and reverence, then we are able to imbibe and accept them in our life. See? Now, what are the scriptures? Let us understand, and all these questions will be solved. What are the traffic rules? Are the traffic rules meant for a particular person, or they are designed for everyone who is using the roads? They are meant for everyone, is it not? So, also, the rules which will govern our existence as beings, not only human beings. So, what is that law which is governing our existence? See, friends. And therefore, we are told that first of all, stop blaming the world for whatever miserable or good or bad things are happening in your life. Stop blaming the world. But we see in this world, there are many children who are born in the poor family. There are many children who are born in the rich family. There are many who are born with all the defects. There are some which are born with all the intelligence and brightness. Why this is happening if we are all the children of the same God? So this is our question. See? Then to answer this question and also help us grow spiritually, the teacher, the scriptures tell us. First step, stop blaming the world. Now, how to stop blaming the world? So we are told, whatever is happening in our life and whatever kinds of experiences we are gathering in our life, they are exclusively created by us in the past. See, suppose I am putting on lot of weight, I have become very fat, a round figure. Should I say, I don't know, one day I got up in the morning and suddenly I was 100 kilos? No. Why I have become heavy and fatty? Because I was eating like a glutton. So I am responsible. Nobody is responsible. So if I had to reduce my weight, I had to reduce my own intake of food. In the same manner, we are told, you are responsible for all your joys and sorrows in life. See, many of us have got certain wrong notions that whatever we get in our life is the result of our earlier karma. Suppose somebody is very healthy, somebody is very intelligent, somebody has lot of wealth inherited. That is not the result of our earlier karma. The karma phala, the result of our karma, is only of two types. Good acts, meritorious deeds, they lead to give us the experience of happiness. And the sinful deeds, they lead us to give the experience of misery. So there are only two experiences we all go through, either joy or sorrow. So whenever we are sorrowful or whenever the more and more miseries come in our life, we are responsible for that. And if some good moments come, good experiences come in our life, then we are responsible for that. Nobody is responsible. Now, next step. See what happens. A person is happy whether he is rich or poor. A person is miserable whether he is rich or poor. Means what? Happiness and misery comes in everybody's life. There is nobody who doesn't have happiness or misery. Both of them, they are the part of our existence. There cannot be anyone in the whole world who has got only miseries and who has got only happiness. It is not possible. See, like the world is made up of the fabrics or the threads which are crisscrossing. You cannot have a cloth by the threads which are going in one direction. See, friends. Therefore, when I say somebody is old, I have already created a young. When I say somebody is fat, I have already created a thin. When I say somebody is good, I have already created a bad. When I say somebody is rich, I have already created a poor. When I say somebody is wise, I have already created otherwise. See, friends, this world is made up of these two opposites. Where there is a birth, death is bound to be. Where there is health, disease is bound to be. Where there is a friend, enemy is bound to be. Where there is a love, hatred is bound to be. It has to happen. See, friends, once we understand this is how the world is made up of, then we go to the next step. The next step is when the miseries come in our life, to be miserable or not to be miserable is a choice given to us by the Lord. We are all miserable by our choice. See, who doesn't have miseries in life? Everybody has. But there are some people who are extremely miserable because of small little things. One person who doesn't have a bicycle, He looks at a person who's riding on the bicycle, feels so sorry. Oh God, I'm so unlucky. I don't dare to walk on the one who is riding a bicycle, he looks at a person riding a motorbike. You see, oh God, I just all the time. See, he is so lucky he has got a motorcycle. The motorcycle fellow. He looks at the car fellow. See, he has got a car, I had to go dun 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 dun. The car fellow, he is happy. Oh, I got an ordinary car, Honda. I wish I can get BMW. I wish I can get, Rolls Royce. And the one who has that, is he happy? I wish I get a helicopter. See, friends, we are all miserable by our own choice. See, therefore, the first step is that we accept that in everybody's life, joys and sorrows are bound to come. Number one. Second thing, a choice is given. Whether you get identified with the miseries and become miserable or not, choice is yours. And when we refuse to be miserable, even God will fail to make us miserable. See, friends, but we are very nice people. We cooperate with the misery. So when the misery comes in our life, we say, okay, aja, tusi aja. And we become miserable. And once we become miserable, like, the seagulls here on the waterfront, we went today. Oh, by the way, today is our Mahatma's birthday. So we came here only for that purpose, and we had a very nice picnic. So today he is the birthday boy, the hero of the day. So we are all listening to him whatever he tells. Because today is his day, the only day in 365 days. Rest of the are only nights. So he told us, when we are sitting there, Swamiji, all the seagulls who are coming, don't throw even one piece of food. Once you throw, they will start bouncing on you. In the same manner, do not cooperate with a single misery in your life. Once we cooperate with one misery, and she goes, and she says, oh, न्यू कैसल जाना है, किधर जाए, और साजिद के घर पहुंच जाओ, वहां बड़ा आदर सत्कार मिलता है. Refuse to be miserable, friends. That is our choice. Then the question comes, it is okay saying, but how do we practice? Now, next step. You all know, Bhagavad Gita was told by Bhagavan Sri Krishna to Arjuna. Whatever was told in Bhagavad Gita, none of that Arjuna has ever practiced. He was on the battlefield. He was not doing meditation. He was not taking the mala in the hand, Mayi eva mana dasva mayi buddhi niveshaya. He was not chanting the Ram Naam there. See? He was not doing charity. What he has done? He has changed his identity. See? He had a wrong notion that he is somebody's grandson, he is somebody's disciple. On the battlefield, we are only fighting the enemy. There is no relationship. Because of this wrong notion about one's own identity, we all suffer in life. See? And therefore, when we are clear about this, that we are here for what? To become miserable? No. To refuse to be miserable, we require inner strength. See, friends, when we go to satsanga, situations around us will not change. We will change. Many people have this wrong notion that whatever is due to come in our life, it will change by the blessings of the Mahatmas or the grace of the God. No, please, it doesn't change. Then what happens? Then our ability to negotiate through the turmoils of life, that improves. See, after having heard Bhagavad Gita from Bhagwan Krishna, the situation of battle did not change. It was Arjuna who changed. Satsanga or chanting the Lord's name instills confidence and inner strength in us. See? And when we become strong, the world cannot cross over us. The strength of the world is borrowed from our weaknesses. If we are a weakling, the world becomes strong. See, friends. And therefore, when in our scriptures it is said, you chant the Lord's name, then what will happen? The unwanted thinking about the given problem is arrested. We only go on imagining, nothing has happened. We go on imagining. See? And we have to arrest that imagination. So that imagination is arrested by engaging the mind. Please understand, mind cannot be controlled. Control of the mind is equal to engagement of the mind. Don't struggle to control the mind. I don't want to think. Thinking is not a problem. When we see by our eyes, is it a problem? Do we go to the Mahatmas? Mahatmaji? Yes. When I open my eyes, I see the things. No. By the ears we hear. Hearing by the ears, is it a problem? No. In the same manner, by the mind we think. That is not for you, it's for me. Okay, thank you. So if there are thoughts in the mind, it is not a problem. The problem is the thoughts overpower us. So instead of struggling with the mind's control, engage the mind. See, I'll tell you one story. There are children, I'll tell you one story. There was a village, like your village, in one valley. And everything was so prosperous, so happily they were living. It so happened that there was famine for 1 year, 2 years, and everybody was in a mess. And there was one Panditji who used to do puja, poti, Bhagwan ka naam. So he was the only wise person in that village. So all of them reached. Panditji, please do something, pray to the God, do something, we are all suffering. He said, okay. Beyond that hilltop, there is another mountain, there is one Mahatma, I will go and talk to him. So he goes there. And the Mahatma gives him some mantra and he comes back. He said, Mahatma has given me a mantra, so you don't worry now. Everything will be all right. So he comes back and after that he is told, chant the mantra. After the mantra is chanted, then without talking or thinking about anything else, immediately after the mantra is chanted, do like this in a glass of water. Do it 3 times. Then drink that water. And whatever remaining water is there, throw it on the earth. Then a genie will come out. And he will do anything that you want. So the Panditji does that. And the genie comes out. And he said, Master, please tell me, what can I do? See, in everybody's house there is a water problem. Kindly see that all the water tanks are filled in. By the time the Panditji turns back, he comes back. Sir, it is done. It is done? Yes, you go and check. Tell me the next job. If you don't tell me the next job, I am going to eat you. Okay. Write down a list. He makes a long list. 120 items. Right from matchbox onward to everything. See that every atom is supplied in every family in the whole town. Then the Pandit says, now this fellow is busy. By the time he turns, again he comes back. Master, the work is done. Check it. In your house also it is there. Every atom, exact quantity. Oh God, tell me the next job or else I am going to eat you. Oh God, now what to do? Then he said, be inside the room, I am coming. And the genie is told, Panditji closes that room and from the back door he runs to the master. This fellow is going to eat me, it's okay, he is helping, no doubt about it. But I can't keep him busy. How much more work can I give him? So please tell me something. Again he comes down. So when that that genie was going to eat him every moment and his frail Panditji was shaking every moment, now he came with confidence, And he tells the genie, come here. Now there is no submission. There is, authority. Go and get a wooden pillar which is 60 feet tall, long. Sir, immediately it comes. Make a hole in the soil 25 feet. Sir, done. He does like the hole is done. Fix the pillar over there. Yes. Make it very firm. Done. You say and it is done. Now, keep climbing upwards. When you reach the top, come down. When you come down, your feet touch the ground, again go up. And keep on doing this till I call you next time. Get busy. That genie is none other than our mind. Unless you keep the mind busy, that mind will eat us. That mind eats us in three ways. One way, we are all the time living in the past. All the time. If you watch the old people sitting together, what is that? Only he tells, जब मैं जवान था, हमारे ज़माने में ऐसा होता था. By the time this one person starts, the other is not ready to listen. तुसी कुछ बैठो जी हंसी दसांगे. And then he starts his one. His mouth is plugged. The third one starts, Because they have longer the past, more the stories. We cannot live in the present. This is the diet for the mind. And when we start thinking about anything a lot, we start imagining that to be real. It is not there. See? And then what happens? Those old memories and the load on our head, it becomes such a great obsession for us. That anything which is happening in the present, we react, we revolt, we are unable to cope up with. See, this is how the mind survives. The second way the mind survives is constantly solving the non-existing problems. What is a worry? Worry is an attempt to solve a problem which is not there. You go on imagining. If this happens, this one. Yesterday we had satsang somewhere, and one old lady with a stick, with great difficulty, she was able to stand up and walk, and the whole body along with the stick is to shake like this. So her daughter or son, somebody, Swamiji, this is my mother, said, Namaste. You please tell her not to worry. So I said, Mama, Swamiji, this is the only thing I can do. And if this also I don't do, then what do I do? See, the habit of worry is like scratching the eczema. बड़ा मजा आता है. You just see those who have got eczema and the itch of eczema, it is not painful, it is pleasurable. Aha, Brahmanandam Paramapadam Kevalam Kujali Roopam. There is no need. See, but the mind has to survive. So either the mind is constantly digging the grave, or it is trying to solve the non-existing problems, or the mind starts comparing. See? उनकी बहू ऐसी है, पता नहीं हमको ही ऐसे कैसी बहू मिली. When I came here, all this Bhagwan's avatar, they were sitting there and gossiping. This I was sitting behind and enjoying the Bhagwan's Leela. Three things we have to avoid. How to avoid it? Easier said than done. And for that purpose, all the religions, all the scriptures talk about taking the Naam, Satnam. See? Now be very attentive. Bhagwan is Ananta Akala. See? Sat is absolute. It is not relative. Like, what is on my palm? A mobile phone. Now there is no mobile phone. So this mobile phone, or for that purpose, any object is recognized by us in two ways. One, it is present, other, it is absent, is it not? But the Sat is that Sat, which is beyond present and absent. See? And that is our experience. Do we, any one of us, ever have the experience of our absence? We cannot have. That's Sat. And Shri is our potentiality, our Shakti. And Akala is beyond time. That which is beyond time is beyond cause and effect. Cause is in the earlier period of time and effect is in the later period of time. See, the infinite divine reality along with its potentiality is beyond time, therefore beyond cause and effect, and therefore when we think about that which is infinite, there is nothing more that can be thought of. See, we chant the Lord's name. Om Sri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. This is the thought. I wish I get a nice cup of tea. This is also a thought. Please understand, it's very secret. When we chant the Lord's name, Om Sri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram, this is the thought. And I want to have a cup of tea, this is also a thought. So what is the difference between these two thoughts? I want a cup of tea, this thought is incomplete. Therefore, next thought is born. Where do I get a cup of tea? Third thought is born. साजिद के यहाँ चलो. Fourth thought is on. बहन जी तुसी कैसे हो? आओ भैया आओ, बहुत दिनों के बाद आए. कोई चाय पानी? हाँ जी तुसी चाय दे दो. See? When a thought is about something incomplete, it breeds the next generation of thought. when you take the Lord's name. And the Lord is infinite. Therefore, after the Lord's name, there cannot be any thought born. See, now just right now you can experience. Just take one thought in your mind. After satsang, I will go and put all the clothes in the washing machine. Then I say, but we don't have the, this detergent powder. I told him, he never remembers anything, How can you put only in washing machine? Then the third thought comes. But if you start sound, मुंडे the exam है, काहे को आवाज करती हूँ? One after another, there is no end. See, and on the contrary, we chant only Lord's name, Sri Ram. See, no other thought comes. It is for this purpose that our scriptures and masters have told, take the Lord's name. But our mind is extraordinary. So what happens? Sri Ram. वो श्री राम लागू बड़ा अच्छा एक्टर था. अरे राम 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 राम. कहाँ राजा भोज, कहाँ गंगवा तेली. There was one grandfather, Dadaji, he told me in USA. Swamiji, have you seen that Sri Krishna serial? I said, no. Why you don't see? I said, no, I don't have TV. Why you don't have TV? Because I don't have house. Why you don't have house? Because I am bekar. Oh, anyway, in that Sri Krishna TV, this serial, whenever I see that Sri Krishna, I remember my grandson. Are Ram, 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 Ram. When you see your grandson, you should remember God. Yeah. But it is the other way around. When you are seeing the God, you remember that disgusting grandchild. See? Thinking of the sublime and getting lost in the ridiculous. And therefore, we have to repeat it. So, we start chanting Om Sri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Before the next thought comes, Om Sri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Om Sri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. And every time we chant the Lord's name, we have to be 100% involved in that. Not the routine, normal, professional chanters. See, they'll be keeping the mala in the hand. Om Sham Jaram Jaram Sham Jaram Jaram Sham Jaram Sham Jaram Jaram Jaram. Like a thermometer, jhatka. Because that mala got entangled, What to do then? No. It is not the number of malas we complete, but how much each time we chanted the Lord's name, we are fully in that. See, friends. And therefore, whatever Lord's name you are chanting, keep chanting the same. Don't change. If you have taken some vow that I will chant one mala, two mala, finish that. Don't worry about it. But thereafter, now start chanting the Lord's name, not as a duty, but as a devotion. See, when we do our job routine way, go to the office, that is a duty. And therefore, after duty, we are tired. In devotion, there is no tiredness. Because devotion is love. Anything which we do through love or as an expression of love, there is no tiredness in life. Therefore, a devotee of the Lord is never tired. He is in tune with the divine. And the tuning happens When we chant, first you finish this way and then now you start in a very deep manner. First try, for example, we will chant, let us say, 3 times only the Lord's name. And when we are chanting 3 times, no dissimilar thought intercepts in between. This has to be very carefully and consciously done, not mechanically. See? So suppose we start chanting Sri Ram, Sri Ram, Sri Ram. Sri Ram, Sri Ram, Sri Ram. In this manner, 3 times we chant the Lord's name, no dissimilar thought comes in between. Then we increase our stamina. Like a child, how the child learns walking? He doesn't know how to walk. So he starts with 1 step and falls down. He doesn't give up. He develops his own techniques. Holding to the wall, holding to the furniture, holding to the mummy, something or the other. And he stands. He takes the 2nd step, again he falls. But he doesn't give up. Again he gets up. In the same manner, we have to very cautiously, with perseverance of a child, start. So we stand 3 times, no dissimilar thought, get established in this, very good. Now increase the quota. Instead of 3, now let us make it 5, for example. So 5 times we chant Sri Ram, Sri Ram, Sri Ram, Sri Ram, Sri Ram. Give a wide gap till no disturbance comes. Again start. Then we increase our stamina. Like the athletes, they start running. First they run for 100 meters. Then they make it 1000 meters. Then they make it 1 kilometer. Then slowly they increase, they make it 5 kilometers. And then they can participate in a cross-country 25 kilometers run. They have to develop stamina. In the same manner, slowly go on adding numbers. And when this you start practicing, you will see you don't have to control your mind. Because now we are engaging the mind. Like that genie who was asked to fix a pillar, go on coming up, Sri Ram, over, come down, Sri Ram, touch the feet to the ground, Sri Ram, Sri Ram. When the mind starts remaining naturally quiet, there are no questions. Questions come when the mind is extrovert. Do we have a question or a doubt about our existence? Whether I am or not, will you please tell me? No. That doubt-free, unquestionable experience of our being is going beyond the time. That is what is Sri Akal. And when we thus are in tune with the Sadvastu, the Shri, the potentiality, that starts expressing. Then out of an ordinary person, a great master is born. See, take an example. Before partition of India, there was some Nawab who was staying in Lucknow in the Nawab Wada. After he died or whatever happened, he left. That whole huge mansion was free. He is not occupying that. But the mansion is still there. Then what happened? It was taken over by the government. In the same manner. When ICICI, when this I disappears, the Chota Atma, the CH Atma, when he goes away, the Paramatma takes possession. And out of the same counter, from where an ordinary disgusted person was expressing, through the same counter, a great master starts expressing. See? We all know the story of Valmiki. Only by chanting the Lord's name, Ram Ram, what happened? That his mind, which was earlier extrovert and criminal, the same mind again became centered, self-oriented. And when the mind becomes self-oriented, the external and worldly things have no impact on us. As a result, the Shri, the infinite potentiality, which is dormant in every one of us, that infinite potentiality starts manifesting. And then out of a Mohandas Karamchand Gandhi, a Mahatma Gandhi is born. See, friends, all the great masters, they are not physically having a different kind of morphology or anatomy. Mahatmas do not have two horns and one tail, Onida. No, they are the same like you and me. But what is the difference? The difference is earlier our hands were working for only selfishness. What do I get? But when the same hand starts working with seva for everybody, through that hand, Bhagavan is expressing. It is for this purpose that the Ramanam or Satnam or whatever Bhagavan's name you take, it is advised by the teachers and the scriptures. Therefore, when we keep on chanting the Lord's name, our attention is not outside. Our attention is how much our mind is getting disciplined. See? Because the whole world is a mess only because of the uncultured mind. So that mind has to be educated. And before we educate the mind must be controlled. See, like we go to some places and parents are never bending before anybody. They are like electric posts. And when we go to somebody's house, then they tell their child, Beta, Swami ji ko namaskar karo. Now he is their product only. हम नहीं करेंगे. नहीं बेटा, स्वामी जी को नमस्कार करते हैं, हम नहीं करेंगे. So then I had to tell him, अरे बाबा, I am standing with my feet in my hand, करना बाबा जल्दी. You may tell your child to do something, but is he under your control? In the same manner, if we want to engage our mind for something higher, what is required is our mind must be under our control. And what is the controlled mind? Controlled mind is the engaged mind. Presently our mind is engaged in the world, worries, frustration, ego, achievement, failure. That is the only topic. But when the same mind is engaged in chanting the Lord's name, the mind becomes automatically quiet and quiet and quiet. And in that quiet mind, the inquiry about the truth kindles. Now there are no more worldly questions that pop up in our mind. See, like when we start our computer, non-stop pop-ups come. You get disgusted with those pop-ups. So whatever software you may put, again some new thing they come. In the same manner, our mind is like that. Non-stop pop-ups keep on coming. Therefore, first we have to control the mind by engaging the mind by chanting the Lord's name. And when this is done for a period of time, then that mind is, now the next step comes. Now this is another very important thing. See, a child is not interested in studying. No child is interested. But the teacher and the parents want the child to study. So what do? We see what is the interest of the child. The child's interest is chocolate. So we take the chocolates and start teaching numbers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So to teach the child 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 abstract figures. So what we do? We give 1 chocolate, 2 chocolate, 3 chocolate and teach them. This is 1 chocolate. These are 2 chocolates. These are 3 chocolates. So that 1, 2, 3 is given some kind of support which the child has accepted. And the teacher thinks she is very intelligent, that she is teaching the child. But the child's attention is not on 1, 2, 3. Child's attention is on the chocolate. See? In the same manner, initially we are told, take the mala in the hand, sit on a clean asana, and then prepare yourself in a nice way, and then sit in a particular posture, asana, and then start chanting the Lord's name. Swamiji, which mala is more powerful? Whether it is the Tulasi mala, or it is the Rudraksha mala, or it is the Spatika mala, which kind of mala is more powerful? See, attention is on the chocolate, not on Bhagavan. So, Vaijayanti mala is more powerful. See? पुरानों के सामने ही तो बैठे हंसने वाले पुराने ही थे. So, we give importance to these things initially, it is required. But can we continue to stay in the KG1 or KG2 throughout life? We have to graduate, we have to grow. See? So initially we are told, sit in this particular manner, this time to this time. So the mind is slowly disciplined. When we are told, get up early in the morning, take bath and do little exercise, sit before the Lord and chant the Lord's name, read something as a regular practice. When this discipline is self-imposed discipline is a freedom. When the discipline is imposed from outside, it is a burden. See, in this manner, this is the KG1, KG2 class. But that is not non-essential, it is essential. We don't condemn the child who is studying in KG1, KG2. But if the child says, after 25 years you meet him, अरे नवजोत तू क्या कर रहा है? मैं KG1 में हूँ. अरे इतने साल हो गए. No, I like that miss. He has to grow. Is it not? In the same manner. Our whole life, are we going to be like this? We have to grow. And what is the spiritual growth? Spiritual growth is, now we have no more questions, no more complaints about anything or anybody in this world. Now we have become self-oriented and no more selfish. See, friends, and when we become self-oriented, then our questions are not philosophical. Our questions are not arguments or reason. Our questions are, what is our essential nature first? Who am I? Second thing, what the world is. The third thing, who the God is. See, today when we were coming with Anil, I have a very good collection of the old filmy songs. So we are listening. दुनिया बनाने वाले काहे को दुनिया बनाई, परेशान करने को. So, who are we? What is the world? Who is the God who created the world? And what is the meaning of spiritual practice? See? Unless these 4 points are distinctly clear, our meditation or our spiritual practice is like a blind man was searching a black rat in a dark room on the Amavasya night where the rat was not there. What will be the condition? Our meditation is like that. Swamiji, should we sit on the... one person, once somewhere in India, I spoke on 6th chapter of Gita. And then I left that place. And one person from there met me after 6 months or so. Swamiji, do you remember you came to such and such a place? I said, yes. And I remember also we spoke there on 6th chapter of Gita. That is what I want to tell you. Before I heard you, I used to sit for meditation. After I heard you, I stopped meditation. So why you stop? You know, you told there in that Gita that your asana should have grass should be on the floor, then you put the animal skin and then you keep a towel, on that you should sit. I could get the grass and the towel. Animal skin I am not getting and therefore I did not do meditation. See? Therefore, when we talk about our spiritual practice, what does it mean? Are we wanting something from the world? Do we have complaints about everything in this world? What is the meaning of spiritual practice? See, friends, our spirituality or our devotion is like signing an MOU. You know MOU? Memorandum of Understanding. So we go to the Lord in the temple. हाँ जी, दसो की गल है. Bhagavan, yes, you have got infinite power and no desire. I am your devotee. I have got infinite desires and no power. So why not we do partnership? So that your power is utilized and my desires are fulfilled. So we go to the temple or Gurudwara or anywhere only for fulfilling our desires. We continue to be in samsara. See, friends. And we don't find out within ourselves so far what we have done. If we are to write our biography in one line, what we will write? There was a school. In that school, the teacher gave a story writing competition. Anybody who will write the shortest story, and the story must not end miserably. It should end happily. Okay? Right. The best and the quick story will be given the first prize. And there was one child like him. He wrote and said, क्यों होया? आने my story is over. अरे, by others have not even started, your story is over. Isn't it? You told short and happy ending. I have done that. Okay, read your story. He read. There was a man and a woman. They were standing back to back. They started walking. Thereafter, they lived happily. That's a beautiful story. Isn't it?
Very right.
See, how much we get involved in unwanted things. Therefore, spiritual life is focusing our attention on ourselves, and for that we have to be qualified. And the qualification is when we chant the Lord's name, etc., our mind becomes disciplined, and the disciplined mind is available further for the study of scriptures. And when we start studying the scriptures, then the understanding grows. See? And when the understanding grows, we do not require to ask anything to anybody. We start getting the answers from within. Because a disturbed mind is a source of all the problems, and a calm mind is a source of all the solutions. See, friends, our mind is hardly at peace. It is always in pieces. Because constantly reacting. For everything there is a reaction. See, friends, therefore, to control our unwanted thoughts here and there, the name of the Lord is advocated to be practiced. Then, to stop blaming the world for our miseries, we are told that whatever good or bad karma we have done in this life we are suffering not because of anybody but because of our own past karma. Now the third step, few questions that you ask. The third step, if you don't behave properly now onwards, you will suffer much more in the next life. Oh God, I didn't behave properly. Like, many times, husband and wife, a non-stop complaint against each other. You may be having experience of only one husband and wife, whatever you are. I have experience of millions of them, although I have none of them. So, one husband told me in England, I mean, my wife is so dumb and I'm fed up of her. I don't know what to do. Before her, he told me, I said, I agree with you, my friend. She is really dumb. Swamiji, you are not given food as yet. Hold your tongue. If you also call me dumb, I will not give you lunch. I said, Mama, let me complete. Yes. I said, my friend, I agree your wife is dumb. If she is not dumb, will she ever marry you? When she married you, she cannot be wise. Because who can marry you? No wise person will marry you. Thank you, Swamiji. I said, now you give me food. Now you tell me what should I do? I said, look here. Don't blame her. Whatever miseries are in your life is because of you. And what was that? You must have tortured her in the last life. So in this life, she has come to take the revenge. But now what can I do? It was in the last life. Now start behaving properly with her. Otherwise, she is doing Karwa Chauth. And again in the next life, she will come. And she won't leave you. Next 7 lives. It's not only one life, 7 lives. And therefore, start behaving properly. Now see what has happened. So we stop blaming others, and with the fear of the next lives, good and bad, we start behaving properly now. Friends, when our interaction with the world is controlled with understanding, we automatically become self-oriented. And when we become self-oriented, we come to know that this is one of the technique by which we are controlled. See? Without fear, we cannot behave properly. It's a rule. Like the other day, somebody told me, Swamiji, do you know in Singapore, I say, I know, Singapore is a fine city. Do you know why it is fine? He asked me. I said, yes, I know why it is fine. Because for everything there is a fine. You drive fast, there is a fine. You enter this in, there is a fine. You park some wrong place, there is a fine. Everywhere there is a fine. And the fine is not only in terms of the dollars, but you get also the whips. See, friends. So it is out of fear that the people are controlled. In the same manner. See, a person who is in USA or UK or Singapore, they are so disciplined. Indians are very disciplined. The moment they land in India, something happens. What happens? Democracy takes over. And Indian democracy is not limited only to the human beings. It is extended to the animals. Any animal can come and stand anywhere, nobody has any control. Everything changes because there is no fear. In the same manner, we are given fear. In this life you are suffering because of your last life's karma. If you don't behave properly, if you don't lead a good life, in next life you will be more miserable. Naturally, no. So what is a good thing? Go to the temple, chant the Lord's name. Don't speak bad to somebody, don't think bad about anything. Automatically you are controlling your mind, maybe under the rod of fear. And once the mind is sufficiently controlled, then we come to know how foolish it is to be rowdy, what a joy it is to be peaceful. Then the wisdom starts surfacing in our own mind. See, friends. Therefore, the rebirth is only for this purpose. Rebirth does not mean we were having an earlier life, this life, next life. No. Rebirth means we are again and again born, but we continue to be the same. See, before I came to your Newcastle, I was in Sydney. Before I came to Sydney, I was in Melbourne. Before I came to Melbourne, I was in Auckland. Before I came to Auckland, I was in Kuala Lumpur. Before that I was in India. So I am the same. I have not changed. In the same manner, a child body, there I am. Child body has changed. It is not the same body which was born. Every cell is replaced. But I continue to be the same. Then the teenage body came. That also is not the same. It has completely replaced. See, friends, dehinosmin yatha dehe kaumaram yauvanam jara tatha dehantara praptihi dhiras tatra namuyati. In the second chapter, Bhagavan says, like so many bodies keep on changing, but the embodied doesn't change. Therefore, who is born and who dies? So the principle of rebirth is to bring to our cognition that we are a continuous, unbroken divine presence. We are not the one who is miserable. See, friends, to come to experience this, we require qualification of a pure mind. Even to understand and accept, forget about digesting. See? And when we are thus able to understand every step that is required to be gone through as the spiritual practice, and spiritual practice is that we function outside, but the results are harvested inside, not outside. For example, I am talking to you. Now, where is my attention? Is my attention on you? That you will change because of my talk? What will be the result if I think like that? I will be miserable because you will not change. On the contrary, when I am talking, if my attention is on my mind, so what will be my attention on my mind? Whatever I talk, who is hearing first? Me. If my words do not change me, will they change others? See, friends, yoginaha karma kurvanti sangam tyaktva atmashuddhaye. A spiritual seeker functions in this world not because the world wants us. It is our need that we serve others. See, friends, when this is understood, then the arrogance of service can never come. See, friends, here I am very clear that none of you want me here. It is my need. Because otherwise, what will I do? I can't talk to furniture. So I got hold of this friend and I told him, somehow bring some people, never mind they sleep. at least, I will get a chance to talk. See? So when I talk as my need, I will be honoring your presence as you are. On the contrary, if I think, you ignorant people, I don't know how to save you, then I will have disrespect for you. And when you have disrespect for somebody, you cannot grow spiritually. The highest spiritual practice is we are able to respect and revere everything and every being in this world. See, friends, in this world there is none who doesn't deserve respect and reverence. And whenever we respect and revere somebody, it is we who are benefited, nobody else. When we go before the Lord and matha teko and do the pranam, by that God is benefited or we are benefited. When I take food, who is benefited? I am benefited because I am doing the action of eating. In the same manner, when we respect and revere anything or anybody, that thing and that body is not benefited. It is we who are benefited. And therefore, it is in our own interest that we continue to be reverential in our attitude towards the whole world. And how to be reverential toward the whole world? Only by recognizing or by suspecting that the same divinity is pulsating in and through the total creation. See, the whole world is nothing but an expression of the same divine reality, and that divine reality is this whole world and much more than that. Atyatishtat dashangulam. See, friends, in this manner our vision undergoes change. And when our vision will undergo change, then our interaction with the world goes totally different. Earlier we were indulgent and enjoying the world is the only story of our life. But when we look at the same world as expression of the divine, we cannot be indulgent. Ishavasya says, Ishavasyamidam sarvam yatkincha jagatyam jagat tena tyaktena bhunjita ma grudak kasya sviddhanam. When we look at the world as the expression of the divine, we cannot be indulgent, but we will be having an attitude of service. To God we serve, to God we don't indulge with. See? When we go to the market and order for sweet meat, that we indulge. और दे दो यार बड़ा मजा आया, और दे दो मजा आया, खूब खाएंगे. But when we go to Gurudwara and we are given same sweet, do we indulge that? No. It is with awe, respect and reverence. See, we don't compare. See, every year I go to that Jira Saab in Bidar. For 1 week I am there. Every year, November, December. And all those, Ragi, they are our good friends. So, every day I'll get some prasad or some food like that. When they give prasad, will I tell him, Sadi thoda achar le aao naal? No. Whatever prasad comes, it is accepted without comment, without improvement. See, friends, our attitude has changed. But if you go to the hotel and ask for something, hey, इसमें ये नहीं और लिया गरम करके लिया, because we are indulging. See, friends, therefore when we understand a basic principle, when we respect and revere somebody, it is our spiritual growth. But we require some reason. How can we respect everything? There's only one simple reason, and the reason is everything is manifestation of the same divine reality. With this understanding, when we live, we have no problems, no questions, nothing is good, nothing is bad, and we are at peace with ourselves. And when we are at peace with ourselves, we are at peace with the world. Those who are disturbed, disgusted, angry, bitter, within inside, they cannot be a creative and a pleasing personality. See, friends, therefore, let us understand the strength that we all have remains dormant because it is going in the wrong channels. One example I'll give and conclude. There was a place where they were trying to take the water on the top of the building through the pump, engage the pump, and the water was not going. They are so frustrated. What happened? Maybe this pump is not enough powerful, they added a bigger pump, but water is not going. So they started investigating and they found that the pipe which was supposed to take the water up there, it was leaking a dozen places. So all the water which was pumped, it was leaking out, nothing was going up. In the same manner, the energy, the divine energy that we all have is leaking out through our sense organs. And as a result, we are unable to reach our own divine presence. All our energy is only wasted. So what spiritual practice, chanting the Lord's name, understanding, etc. does? It blocks all these holes. And then our energy can be harvested and employed for something higher. That is what is achieved through the various aspects, whether you call it as rebirth, or you call it chanting the Lord's name, or you call it being good to the world. All of them have effect on our mind. And when our mind is beautiful, man changa to katoti me ganga. Om Purnamadaha Purnamidam Purnaat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om.